welcome to Savage Sounds. Today I'm going to be breaking down my routine, Medusa, to talk about how you start structuring your own routines. I'm going to basically use my routine as an example and show you how I went about structuring that, so it might inform you as to how you might go about structuring your own routines. Okay, so as I've said in the past, my main tips would always be don't give away all your tricks at once, build up to that drop, have some sort of melody and start with things much more spaced out. So with that song, my song, Medusa, the melody of the verse is falling to the floor, your true colours can't fool me no more, Medusa. Okay, that's the verse. It's 4 lines, repeated melody. So I'm just going to use that to start with, and I establish my rhythm, which is really simple. It's got spaces in between it. It's dum da da dum da dum da dum dum da dum da dum da. And then I sing the melody in between. Falling to the floor, floor. Go back to the rhythm. Okay, so I've introduced the melody and I've introduced a line. Then I repeat that. Falling to the floor, floor. Your true colours can't fool me no more, more. Medusa, falling to the floor. Okay, so I do it one round where I do beatbox, sing, beatbox, sing. The second time I go through it, I add a snare to the beginning of the line. So instead of falling to the floor, I go falling to the floor. And then I make my beats a little bit more intricate. Not too much, but just adding the odd extra hi-hat so it starts to feel a little bit more filled out. Falling to the floor. Your true colours can't fool me no more. Medusa. Okay, so I'm adding Medusa. I'm adding some really simple snares and filling out the rhythm a little bit more. But the only reason I can do that is because I started with such a sparse rhythm. Then I go completely a cappella for the pre-chorus, which is, guess I should have known. Look in your eyes could turn me into stone. I'm not petrified. Repeats again. Da, 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 da. But if you don't want to sing, that could easily be as some sort of synth build. I could go. Okay, I'm just choosing to use vocalized sung words, but you could do any sort of synth to build that. When I get to the end of that pre, but I'm not gonna run, that's my note. I turn the run into a siren, but I'm not gonna run. I basically milk this for as long as is humanly possible because I could feel the audience going, oh my God, something's going to happen. She's going really, really high, and just go higher and higher. And I do this with my hand and I do that and I make it look like I'm really struggling to reach that top note. Sometimes I am. And then when I get there, I'll stop and I'll sing Medusa. And I'll leave it for a bit and I'll go off rhythm. It doesn't have to be in time. I'm creating a moment held in time. Okay, so it's not going to be, but I'm not going to run. Medusa. Bass. I don't do that. I really elongate it. And sometimes if I really want to milk it, I'll even add a and then I go into the first drop. You can do whatever you want there. If you can do a lip roll, you'd probably do a lip roll. But I can't do a lip roll, okay? My first drop is, I can't remember actually, Medusa. Something like that. Can't really remember it when I'm doing it in sections. And then from the energy that I've built from that first drop, the audience have gone, ah, oh yeah, people just love drops. I use that energy that I've spent all that time carefully crafting and creating, building them up into a frenzy, and I bring that into the second verse. People do that a lot with songwriting and production. The first verse is normally a lot more sparse, sometimes with no percussion at all, and then you build to the chorus, and then the second verse has often some extra percussive elements into it. So I'm going to go into verse 2. And I'm going to repeat exactly the same lines because it's a beatbox routine. People aren't necessarily listening to the lyrics as much, maybe. So, falling into the floor. So that time I said, falling to the floor. Instead of to the floor, I replaced them with hi-hats. Falling to the floor. Your true colors. And I just give it a bit more energy, a bit more pace, and add some more intricate stuff in. So now when I come to the pre-chorus, you want to give them something different. You don't want to repeat the same build every time. Give them a slightly different build. So this time, instead of singing a cappella, guess I should have known, I'm going to add some classic snares. Snares on the beat is always a great way to build something, okay? And again, Medusa. Then I do the second drop. And you could do a more intense second drop or a different kind of drop, a different rhythm. Either way, you can definitely get away with doing 2 drops in one routine because that's the bit the audience are waiting for. And I reckon my whole routine is probably about a minute long before I even give them the first drop. So then there's a second drop, and then I just finish on a guess I should have known, no. A nice little sort of echo. So yeah, that is how I crafted my Medusa routine. Beats, melody together, then melody with a snare at the beginning, or lyrics with a snare at the beginning with slightly more filled out, an a cappella spacious pre, the title of the track, Medusa, which comes out of tempo, it's completely left alone on its own, the first drop, an energetic second verse, which has a few more percussive elements in it, which carries the energy from the chorus into the second verse, a different second build with snares, repeated snares, a second drop, and then an outro. And that whole routine is probably about 2 and a bit minutes, but it's probably one of my favourite routines that I've ever created because I think it's structured quite well, and the melody helps. I think it's quite a good melody, if I do say so myself. So yeah, that's my advice for structuring your own routine. Don't be afraid to use your voice and use melody. You can, of course, create amazing routines without it, but I think personally, if it has a bit of melody and a bit of composition and it's been thought out in that sense, it's gonna make for a better routine. So yeah, any questions, anything about how you're struggling to come up with your own concepts? If you don't have your own songs, obviously the same thing applies for covers. Listen to a song and take the elements that you think work from that song. The chorus of Medusa isn't in my beatbox routine because the chorus is I stand alone, you're losing control. It doesn't really work with beatboxing because it's a very long held note. So I've just taken the verse and the pre. And the verse of Medusa really works for beatboxing because it has loads of space. It's falling to the floor. It's got a whole bar of space. Your true colours. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da, 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 da. So if you can find songs that have a lot of space in the verses, then generally they're quite good ones to cover as beatboxers. So that is how you start crafting your own routine. See you next week for another Savage Sounds. Oh, and if you want, seeing as I've been talking about my music on Spotify, I would really, really appreciate if you could go to Spotify and give me a follow because I've got some new music coming out in a few weeks and it would help me out so much if you could give me a follow and so I could start spiking those darned algorithms when I release my songs in March. I'll put the link in the description. Big up! Bye!